I think of myself, I'm originally from Canada, and so I'm slightly displaced living down in Texas. I've lived here now 15 years, but very different because the cultures and the language are very, very similar, and we have a funny way of talking about a few things and so on, but very different for Joseph. Yeah. And there was even some displacement in me moving, but how much more profound it would be for, I chose to move, I wasn't sold.
Yes.
And for Joseph, he had obviously no say in what happened. And
what part of Canada were you raised in?
Well, originally from the West Coast, from Vancouver. My dad was a pastor, and so
beautiful area.
Yeah, we lived in a long part of my life in central Canada, in Saskatoon, when I was a little boy growing up. Much colder there than Vancouver. And for a time in my junior high years, we lived in Ottawa, in eastern Canada. So I have a little bit of experience across the country, but I'm a Westerner by heart, so I would call Vancouver home.
Would you?
Yeah, haven't lived there in a long time, but I'd still call it home.
When you moved from there to Texas for your further education,
schooling,
seminary, you obviously felt the cultural shift. But you were so excited about coming, as I remember you're telling me, that it was altogether different from Joseph, as he must have wondered where all of this is going. You know, we're able to read the whole story, chapter 37 all the way to chapter 50, and you know, you have to wait till the end. You can jump to the end and see what it's going to lead to, but he had no idea at the time where this was going to go.
And that's so much like life. We get ourselves into a predicament, and we think next week it'll be better, or next month, or it's for a short period of time. It's true in history. Countries go to war, and they'll be back by Christmas. And life doesn't go like that. And I always think that's part of the beauty of Joseph. Joseph goes chapter after chapter after chapter, going through all these situations.
Not only does it not get better, it gets worse.
It gets worse. It gets much worse.
Right. We have to address that time when he's alone with Potiphar's wife, and she makes her moves and is determined with her lustful heart to get him to yield and to have sex with her. And he absolutely resists all of her advances. In fact, runs, and she screams rape. Her husband believes her, and he winds up thrown in prison.
And there you have that, you have the circumstances, and then the truth of the matter is he did nothing wrong. There's the accusation which sits over his head, and then there's the truth, which is now I'm in prison, in a foreign place, speaking a foreign language, far from my family, no one there to defend me.
In an Egyptian jail.
No one there to feed me. Even in these times, most people were fed by family and friends. The government didn't provide for food in prisons, and he's completely isolated. So,
when you think about that, and you're going to teach it, let's say, to a group of people that are from all different backgrounds, do you take time to deal with the losses and the heartbreak and the displacement and the hurt, or do you find yourself moving quickly to the solutions that came?
Well, I think we want to, but I think that's the beauty of how this story goes. There's lots of great stories in Scripture. This one's great and long. And so unless you're going to jump the text, you work your way through it, and it spirals downhill. And I think that's where we can relate to Joseph. We have times where we too have been maybe accused of something that we didn't do, or in circumstances we didn't wish upon ourselves, and so on. And we can start to relate to Joseph that way. And I think the happy ending that happens at the end, not all of our stories work quite like that.
No, they don't.
But we can relate to a lot of Joseph's life and a lot of his story.
Yeah, I'm reminded of the proverb, when a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. It's a great proverb, and it isn't just wishful thinking. It's often exactly right, exactly true to what happens. And here he is landing on his feet when he gets thrown in prison, unfairly, misjudged, and there he is, and the Lord blesses him there.
Yeah.
And he emerges in a place of trust in the eyes of the warden, we would call him, and he's over all the other prisoners.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And that it's already repeated. He was blessed by God in Potiphar's home,
Right.
and was over all the servants there,
Sure.
and his whole household,
Including the finances. Trusted all the way.
That's right, and then falsely accused, and now is in prison, and the same thing. The Lord is blessing him, and even the dreams that he had back home. I mean, they were dreams of blessing that got him in trouble with his brothers.
Yes.
And so we've already seen God has a special place for Joseph, and yet his story isn't at this point a good one. It's a downhill, unfair, mistreated, misguided. I'm locked up, and no sense of time. This is the thing. We can go and he gets out.
Yeah.
But he can't do that. Day after day, he sits in the prison, unfairly accused.
And even when a fellow prisoner says, if you help me, I'll remember you.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and
Yeah.
and see that you're pardoned or get you out.
Yeah.
And he forgets it.
Yeah.